Did you see these ribbons? You know what this means? It's time to play with fall. Anytime we see scarecrows and pumpkins and berries, it is that time of year. We get to make the cutest things for our homes and our Etsy shops, and it's just so fun to create with you guys. So come on in here. I'm Keleas, and welcome to Bow Time. We're going to make a bow together. Let's start off here with our whitest ribbon in the back. Now, this particular bow we're going to make today is specifically for a kit that includes all of these supplies plus a great pumpkin wreath base. So definitely ask in the comments for the link for that so you don't miss it. Now, this particular design, I want this bow to be a just kind of a funky bow with a little bit of a nice tail too. So I'm going to start off with my ribbon tail being about 16 inches, and I'm going to cut it at an angle. Okay, so just angle cut it there. And 16 is right here, the 8 to the 8. Then you bring that into the center, and we're going to start to shape up our bow. Now, the pattern that we're using in the background is real important because it's also in the print on our particular base that we're using. So I like this one because it breaks it up a little with that tan on the side. So we're going to start with these at 6.5, and then I'm going to scrunch it down, and I'm going to twist it actually because we're going to do 2 on either side of this and really make this a fun bow. So spread out that ribbon, twist, and separate these out. Make sure you got it right, about 6.5. Looks like I made this one a little bit longer, so I'm just going to cheat a little. There we go. And I'm going to make it match on either side and then scrunch and spread these out and let them be nice and open. And you want to try to keep these loopy. That's if you want to achieve the look that I'm teaching today, that's one of the little tricks. We want to keep that nice and open. I'll cut this at an angle to match on the other side. And now we're ready to pull out our orange ribbon. It's going in next. And the nice thing about the orange going in, it's going to pop against all of our black check that we're using in this design. So let's bring this in, and I'll layer this on top. I'm gonna go just a little bit shorter, or at least the same length. Twist that and hold that in the center, and we're gonna start to build up our bow. Y'all, if you like making bows like this and definitely want to learn more about how we use our bows and our floral designs, absolutely try one of our kits. They're a great way to get started. And once you play with that and you're like, Clee, I love making these, I want to make more, we would love to have you in our design school. Our design school class goes more in depth and really focuses on all the steps and basically the building blocks of design that I use. And they help you create pieces on your own over time, just like I do. And it kind of helps you build up all these basics so you can take your floral designing to the next level. Now, we only work in artificial florals, so you don't have to worry about accessing supplies. Our design school class has a supply list for every project, and you could definitely get the supplies from us. But you can also source them other places if you prefer. You'll get the supply list, and you can do that however you want. We make it really easy to use and clickable, our supply list. And of course, design school students get discounts on their purchases. And the more you buy, the more you save. All right, we're going to start to layer now this check on top. The neat thing about this kit, and if you want to grab the kit for everything we're making that includes this bow, just comment kit in the comments and we'll get you a link to grab the kit. I'm going to bring the check on top, and in our kits always include full rolls of ribbon, so you will have ribbon left over you can go to town with. You could just have so much fun with it and create more projects with the leftover ribbon. I'm going to do 2 of these and twist, just kind of crisscrossing right here in the middle of that orange. I think that looks popping great. All right, when we get to our last loop here, we're going to push that down, and then what I want you to do is trim these to match. I'll just bring them back up here, trim them to match, and then we're going to take and come out of the center with a cable tie, run that right beside my dowels. And you got to kind of jiggle it to the left. Y'all, if you want to get notifications for new videos when new classes come out, you definitely have to get on our text list. So grab a spot on that text list at 832-734-5201 and just text us VIP, and that'll get you on the list, and we'll let you know when new classes come out and they go up on our channel. We'll share it with you. Now I have separated all the layers of this bow so it looks just so full and lush. And now you're going to attach a cable tie to the back, so that way it's ready to go on our finished project. Pull that tight, and then we'll trim that off. I'd like to go into the center to cover up my mechanics. We of course cover up our mechanics in design school. We're always talking about how important it is to make things that last and they're really well constructed. So I want to do the same thing even on the details on my bow and come back into that center and hide that. So I just cut a strip of ribbon. You can make it smaller, but I just generally will take and fold it over so I get a little bit of a kind of a half-inch strip that runs right down the center. And you see how that really pops that color in there. I love that. All right, come into the back, tie a couple in the notch just to hold that in place. And yep, just like that, you have made the bow for our Twilight Scarecrow. I think he is going to be the cutest finished project, and I can't wait to be able to just pop this bow right on when we're all done. But look, there it is. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh, you can make a bow like this too. Hey Bloomerinos, we're getting ready to play with our latest kit. And on this one, you're looking at all the supplies that come in this kit. You've got 3 full rows of ribbon, the scarecrow head, this great wreath base, the coordinating pumpkin that we're going to use in there, our greenery, our luxury berries, and this gorgeous sunflower bush over here that has all the great filler. So this is going to be elegant but classic. It's going to scream, hey, I am ready for fall. And this one is great because it just has a scarecrow, so you can use it for fall and Halloween if you want to. It's a great mix of both. So let's get started. We're going to have fun with this. Y'all, so we actually make the bow out of these ribbons on a separate video. So what you want to do is, if you don't know how to make bows and you need to learn how, you're going to need to let us know in the comments so we can get you the bow video as well. And if it doesn't come, the bow video sometimes comes out after the project. Don't worry, we will still get you a link to it there. You can always ask, and we're happy to help you with that. So this particular project, what you are going to need that doesn't come in the kit is going to be, you're going to need a little bit of floral foam, just a small block. We're even going to cut this down smaller. You'll need a few floral pins because I keep these in this little box, but these right here help us secure everything to the base. So we're going to need those. And a couple of little wooden dowels would be great because that's how we'll put in our pumpkin and our scarecrow heads. You need a couple of those. And then you're going to need all your wreath making tools. And of course, over here, we've got our glue skillet that we're going to be using to glue things on. So let's dive right in and get this party started. So the first thing we do is kind of prepare our base. We like to use floral foam when we're going to attach a lot of things to these type of bases, but their supports run along these grapevine pieces. So you can't just attach things to this fabric. You have to think about how you're putting it on. So I'm going to take a little scrap of foam I have left from a design school project, and we're going to take and slice that kind of in half. So I use my big knife here, slice this down, careful. It's so crunchy, but a nice thin piece here. And the key is I want this to be able to get from each piece of that vine to vine, kind of right in the middle, a little bit up in the middle. So right there would be perfect. I am going to put some glue on the back, and then we're going to glue it here first. But then we're going to take those floral pins and we're going to come around these wire supports in here to hold this in place. So I've got my electric skillet good to go. And I'm going to kind of get rid of some of the glue in the middle, but kind of leave it heavy on each end. So we got kind of a little bit of a, like a thin smear on there, but not as much in the middle. So we're going to take and push that on the grapevine. Perfect. Now gently come with the fabric. You need to be very careful because that glue is hot. Touch that fabric to the back. That's just to make it look pretty. We are not going to expect that fabric to take any weight. It won't work. Now come on these sides, dip these in glue too, and while it's hot, let's come on the sides and get on into that grapevine and into the foam. I'm using my U pins for that. If you're not already in design school, guys, these are some of the supplies we use as our everyday components when we're creating U pins, and the floral foam. Those are normal pieces. But our kits are a great way to get started. And as you kind of explore, you do a few kits, then come join us in design school as well, where you can kind of expand your creative process and learn more and more and more. Where I teach all the principles of designs. But these projects we're doing here together are just a perfect starting point, you know, because they're usually easy. Oh, dang it. That was hot, y'all. I put the glue on it first. I got it. Not too bad. I'm coming through the back, but I'm also hitting that grapevine, okay? I'm going to go over here. So I'm going through the grapevine from the back, and I'm going right into my foam as well. So we can keep doing that. Okay, I've got 4 pieces. I'm going to do 2 more. Does Keleas design school students will tell you I'm overly constructive. I want to make sure things don't fall apart. I did craft shows for 17 years as my main job, y'all, after leaving my teaching career to do them and be in this creative, you know, the creative lifestyle and making money with my crafts. And kind of neat because the melding of my previously teaching school, and then the creative aspect have melded together now where I get to teach design school. So it's really, really fun. But they'll tell you I over construct things. I want to make sure they last and they are really well made. So you're going to see me do that a lot. Now that we have our foam in, this is what everybody's going to go into and attach to. So you need to start playing with where you think you want your pieces to go. And anytime you see me make something and you buy one of our kits, no, it's just a guideline. You don't have to follow it directly. You can improvise and change things up. You might want to use less and take some of the supplies from the kit and make something else with those too. You just know when you get a kit that the collection goes together so nicely. So I'm thinking about having the scarecrow head down low and the bow up high. Let's see if we like that. I don't know. Now remember, we mowed our bow on another video. So if you need the link for the bow, you just need to ask. So we could do it like this. Okay, that's an option. Or I'm thinking maybe down low and scarecrow head up high. I think that's cute too. Let's see. What if we put the bow here? Kind of off the corner of the foam, right? And we can have floral going off that too. And then we tuck our scarecrow head right in there to the tails of the bow. What do you think about that? I think I'm going to go with that. You play with it all kind of different ways and you decide what you like, but I think I love that one. So my first step is going to be knowing my design, how it's going to come together. I'm going to get this bow in. And on the bow, we're going to add a floral pin to the back so we can glue it right into our foam. So you're going to take and add one of those U pins into the cable tie. And we'll get that nice and tight. Just put it to the side for a second. Pull that really tight. And then take your wire cutters, trim that off. And then I'm just going to rotate this around. And then we'll put some glue on here and we'll be able to put her right in the edge of that foam. So I'm going to bring a little glue over. And let's just tuck that right in. Okay. Right up here on the top edge of the foam. And we're going to push that in. And that bow can go right there. Now go ahead and take your tails and separate them out. Because our plan is to put our scarecrow head right here when we get to that part of the design. But we've got lots more fun pieces to go in. Now, our cute pumpkin, I know I kind of want it tucked opposite the scarecrow. So if I put him here, right, and I know this pumpkin's going to pop in right up here, just tucked into these ribbons. So super cute. So you want to kind of think about the angle you're going to want to put them in. And I always like to pay attention to the stem as well. I was just teaching that in design school, that we need to alternate those stems. So thinking about how everything's going, I want you to grab one of your skewers and kind of put that at an angle so it can pop out the correct way when we get ready to have it in the foam. So you might need an awl to do this. I'm going to wiggle this in first and see if I can get it in. Okay, so I kind of pre-did my hole. Now I'm going to come in with my glue on it, push it in there, and just twist it while you're going in. That helps you get into that foam, okay? So it's a little bit of an angle, and then I'm going to push this into the foam. So cut it down a little. Sometimes that goes flying, so I usually like to put that against the table. There's my foam. And remember, I can't go too super tight. I got to have it kind of poking out of my bow. So something like that. All right, cute. It's so cute already. Now, Mr. Scarecrow is going to wiggle in right about here and be opposite that pumpkin. One of the things that you do learn in design school is all about the angles and the lines you're creating. So I want to work opposite. And so that means I've got to attach him in to the foam right down here. So I'm going to try to do that same move where this comes in this way. So that way he can poke in right there, right? So I need this to be at an angle here. So I just take and poke him in. And let's just make sure that's going to work before I glue it. I think that'll work. I'm going to make it a little bit flatter of an angle. There we go. I think that is perfect. All right. So I'm going to go in there and glue that in. I think I would be comfortable if we did a couple of dowels just for safety. Once again, I warned you. I'm always thinking about, I want my customers to have a piece that's really going to hold up well. And even if you're making it for yourself, you want it to be able to withstand, you know, some torture from the rest of the family. All right, I'm going to dip those two in the glue pot and get those dowels glue on them. And then these are going to go into the foam right into here. And just tuck. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, look how cute everything is. I love the angles on this. It looks great. Okay, so some ribbon tails come out behind the head, some come in front. This is pretty stinking cute already, guys. But nope, we're not done. Now we're going to build up our florals around here. So let's grab our greenery bush because it's kind of going to be our filler. And this is a boxwood that has the fall colorations. So what I like to do with it is just push it up a little bit. Rotate these ever so slightly as you're going up. Okay. And start to create more of clusters with them. Once I've done that, I'm going to trim these off and don't go too short. Keep them pretty long because we have to work around some elements in here. So we're going to start with right behind the head and just pop these right into that foam. I'm going to have one piece kind of coming out this way from the bow. And we're going to work back from there. This greenery is kind of the go behind. The neat thing is we've kind of covered up all of our actual foam with the bow and the scarecrow head. So now you're just creating this background. There's really nothing to hide. I'm going to pull that up and really get in there. I had to lean way over. I'm sorry if I was in the camera. I got to get in here to this foam. There we go. So those three pieces are in there. Now let's work on the other side. So I'm going to bring it over a little. We want to kind of balance the size. I want to make sure when I'm going into here, I'm about the same size. Similar. So I'm going to put this one behind our little pumpkin. So you're just going to wiggle it behind that ribbon, get into that foam. Come here, buddy. There we go. Give me a hard time. There we go. And let's go beside that a little bit. These I have to cluster them a little bit more clustered, but still leave the stem long because we got to get behind the bow. Into the foam right here. Yep, there he goes. And just pull out those glue strings as you're going along. Okay, and this one into the right. Y'all, we are just layering up our greenery in the background. Let me bring this one over. I'll tuck it right in here. And my gosh, make sure you're commenting kit. You don't want to miss out on this one. Super cute. These fancy kits always sell out because they're just a lot of supplies in there and the full rolls of ribbon. They are nice. Okay, this is really pretty right here before we add anything else. Look at that. So big, so cute. But no, we're not done. That's not how we roll. We're going to come in with our sunflowers, and these have grasses and greenery and all the fun stuff. And you could just pull these off the stem, and then we'll take and trim them to make them nice, neat, and clean. I've got one little piece of greenery left. We're going to use that kind of at the front when we get all done. And I'll just trim these down where they're similar sizes. And I am going to do what we call shake hands in design school. We're going to move everybody up and shape them out, open up my sunflower. And now I'm going to work these in and around our design. So I'm going to take one and have it coming out of the scarecrow, have it come right below the scarecrow down in here. So hold on to it when you're pushing it in. Yep, there it goes. Perfect. I'll have that one kind of come down to get a little of that pop of orange down here. Let's put some at the top. And I'm just going to separate these out also. And let's go on either side of our pumpkin. I'm going to turn her around to make it a little easy for me. So it might be upside down for just a second to you, but I'm going to go on either side of my pumpkin. I got to see way back in there. There you go. I want to hear that crunch going in there. So my first piece is going in. I love it. And I'll fluff back out my bow, and let's put the other one on this side. Okay, and I'll turn it back around to show you when we're all done. Let me get my sunflower open and this pretty greenery looking good. Turn that around. Now, I don't know about you, but I love getting to escape into my craft room and make something beautiful like this. And when you get a completed kit all together, you literally don't have to go out shopping, worry about getting anything. You probably have got all the tools in your craft room already, and that just makes this process go by quick and easy. All right, that looks good. I love that pop of orange. Now our last step is going to be to add our berry. So on these, I like to take and just kind of pull these off. That way we can keep this wire very long to help us get all the way into the foam. So I'm going to take and pull those off. And then up here, I can trim these a little bit longer. So I got one bigger cluster and this right here. All right, let's take these and we're going to work these right in around our bow to kind of get started. Just pop those in. Oh my gosh, as soon as you add the berries, I'm telling you, that pop of orange, it picks up that pop of orange in the bow. Oh my goodness, so pretty, y'all. I love it. We're gonna put that one right there. I'm gonna come over here on this side. So I'm gonna wiggle it around a little bit. And when you do your project, don't be afraid to do that. Like maneuver it, manipulate it, so you're making it easy for you to work on it. And we're just layering these and building this design up. How about some berries up here what we would call the foreground in the front. We want to work those in. Look how cute this is. This is building up adorable. It's coming out better than I even anticipated. I'm loving it. That orange right there. Let's come on this side, and I'm going to use these berries kind of coming down. Since we did really good with all the berries there, let's have one piece kind of cascading down out of the bottom here. So this one, you'll use that piece you left a little bit longer. And I'm going behind everybody and tucking it into the foam. Yeah, I want to hear it crunch when it goes in. And now just do your final touches of fluffing out the bow. Grab your last little piece of greenery. Trim the stem down, because this is going to go right into the foam, right kind of tucked in, kind of coming out of the bow right here. And we want to have that just tucked in right by his little head. And just like that, we made it, y'all. Can you believe how cute this turned out? This is adorable. It's just next level beautiful. I think you're going to love to try to make one of these for yourself. And this one definitely can hang on your front door or your side door or wherever you would like it. Build your own scarecrow pumpkin because it's stinking adorable. I love the silhouette of the pumpkin behind it. It looks amazing. Hey, Blue Merinos, you going to make this with us? You got to do it. This was fun. Don't forget the bow video is its own video, so just ask for that in the comments. We'll get you the link for the bows, and you can make this same project right along with me. Thanks for hanging out with me, and make sure to have fun with flowers. And don't forget to get ready for fall and create something beautiful for you.